guys, so after the release of Wedding Cake Cookie as well as Black Forest Cookie, there are some cookies that you want to kind of stay away from now because of the fact that they are not going to be worth your investment anymore because they have been pushed out of the meta, as well as also mention some of the cookies that you kind of still want to stay away from because they are not really going to benefit you in the long run until they receive some sort of an adjustment or a buff when their respective update does come out. Oh, and if you guys are able to guess some, then please leave it down in the comments below as well. But let's go over it real quickly, and the first one is going to be Frost Queen Cookie. So out of the original 4 legendaries that we have had before from that chest, Frost Queen is going to be the one that was used for the longest time because of the fact that you needed her for the Living Abyss. But because of the fact that we have received Black Forest as well as Wedding Cake Cookie, Frost Queen is going to be one of the cookies that you kind of don't need to invest in anymore unless you need to go and clear certain specific stages. As of right now, from the Choco Cake Tower, Trade 20 does require Frost Team. I am still trying to beat it without the Frost Queen Crystal Jam, but in order to make it easier, Frost Queen Crystal Jam is going to be a really good one. But besides that particular stage, Frost Queen Cookie with the Crystal Gem is probably not going to be worth your investment much anymore, especially to go and level it up, because now the Living Abyss is filled with epic cookies. Alright guys, and the next one is going to be Pinecone Cookie, obviously because of the fact that our Frost Queen Cookie is now out of the meta, along with her partner inside of the Living Abyss, Pinecone, and the Magic Candy is not really going to be worth it too much anymore. Again, if you're going to be using Pinecone for that particular Trade 20 inside of the Choco Cake Tower, along with Frost Queen Cookie and Sherbet, very good. However, if you don't have Frost Queen's Crystal Jam, Pinecone will not freeze the enemy as well, so not really going to be worth it. And also overall, the Magic Candy is not going to be like insanely good anymore because of the fact that, again, the usage from Pinecone for the Living Abyss is now gone. So just keep that in mind, guys. The Magic Candy that was once kind of top priority for the guild boss battle is not really going to be much anymore. Alright guys, so since I talked about the 2 cookies that are not going to be really worth much anymore, especially because of the release of the 2 new cookies, let's talk about some of the cookies that you want to stay away from each rarity. So out of the ancients right now, of course, we still don't want to be using Hollowberry because of the fact that Hollowberry is the worst ancient until she does receive her Awakened form, which most likely is going to be coming out in June after the release of Eternal Sugar in May. That is tentative. We don't know if it's going to be actually during that time, but according to the sources, it does look like she will be released in June, again after Eternal Sugar. Alright, and the next one I would say iffy is going to be White Lily. White Lily is still really good, has really good skill as well, but your main priority should come into these 3 cookies. Of course, if I had to choose, it's going to be pure vanilla as of right now. That is going to be top priority, and then golden cheese, and then dark cacao, White Lily, and then Hollowberry. So that is going to be the order of the ancients as of right now. From the beast side of things, I would say Shadow Milk is top priority, especially for arena. Burning Spice is, in my opinion, slightly better than Shadow Milk Cookie inside of PvE sections. But, for the arena side, at least, Shadow Milk is number 1. And then I would say Mystic Flower is the kind of iffy beast right now that you kind of don't need to have, as well as you don't need to invest in, except from doing all of the Choco Cake Tower for the last couple of days, as well as doing other story mode. Mystic Flower definitely has usage in certain stages and is better than Pure Vanilla in certain stages, but again, in most cases, Pure Vanilla can outperform Mystic Flower in a lot of different areas, especially with the revive and being a little less squishy in my opinion. So Mystic Flower going to be good, but not going to be like this crazy meta cookie that we had before. And then of course, out of the legendary, Wind Archer is still the best. Of course, if you don't have Wind Archer, you want to pull for Wind Archer, except for the fact that I don't know how much longer that is going to last, especially with the release of Fire Spirit coming out very soon. We might see Wind Archer fall off, but we'll have to see how that's going to go. But at least in the current state, Wind Archer is the best legendary. And then the next best out of these guys, I would say, is Moonlight as of right now, because of the fact that Moonlight does have some good arena comps, as well as her overall skill is actually pretty good, especially if you guys are able to go and get her Crystal Jam up to +20 as well. She does have a pretty big power spike. But out of the other legendaries, her crystal gem is probably going to be the best one. And then next one is going to be something like Stormbringer slash Frost Queen, depending on your usage. And then I'll say Black Pearl. And then last is going to be Sea Fairy. Sea Fairy, still one of the worst. And then of course, even though Pattaya is going to be the only dragon, Pattaya is going to be the worst dragon, so please stay away from Pattaya as of right now. May seem strong in the early games, but later down the line, going to really get crushed. So try to stay away from Pattaya, especially until the dragon updates come out, which is going to be next year. All right. And then out of the super epics, still the best two are going to be Crimson Coral as well as Elder Fairy. All the other ones are not really going to be worth, especially something like Oyster as of right now. Yes, some of these cookies can have some kind of usage in specific, very specific stages, all right? But besides that, the only ones you're going to really use and see are going to be Crimson Coral as well as Elder Fairy. Just keep in mind, Crimson Coral needs to be a single tank in order to utilize her skills properly, all right? And that's the reason why Elder Fairy is slightly better, because of the flexibility. And then now, out of the epic cookies, of course there are going to be cookies that you want to stay away from, but it is going to be really hard to name all of them in this video because we have a ton of epic cookies. Make sure to watch my PvE tier list based on that one, but I would say the ones that you kind of do want to stay away from, at least especially right now, is going to be something like, from the bottom, Butter Roll as well as Red Ass Mantis, Golden Ass Mantis. You want to stay away from Olive, Moon Rabbit, as well as, honestly right now, like Choco Drizzle, Caramel Shoe, Silver Bell, Smoked Cheese, Raspberry, Kumio, Tiger Lily, even Cloud Hete, as well as Mercurial Knight, Cocoa, Candy Diver, Crunchy Chip, Affogato, Fig, Lilac, Almond, as well as Red Velvet, Cherry Blossom, Chili Pepper, Mozzarella, even Pomegranate. I would say we even have Purple Yam, Carol, Prophet, and you can kind of see the point here. A lot of the older cookies are not going to be really worth it. Of course, I did not name all of them, but unless they are used for like very specific stages, you don't need them. And even if you use them in that specific stage, like the Choco Cake Towers or the Strawberry Cake Tower, you get a buff anyways, right? They automatically become level 70. They automatically become 5-star promotion. You don't need to invest in them more than past level 30 to get the max topping slot. I was able to beat up to at least trade 20 with literally level 30 cookies in a lot of those sessions, because they just needed to be strong enough to survive. And you know, that was enough. So I would say a lot of these cookies you can definitely just stay away from. There are certain ones that are decent still, all right? Of course, I skipped over a couple of them. I skipped over a couple of the important ones, like again, Black Forest, Pudding a la Mode. We have Candy Apple as well, and other cookies like that. So just keep those in mind. Of course, for the epic cookies, I would say watch PvE, PvP tier list. But I just wanted to name a quick few that you want to kind of stay away from, as well as some information you want to keep in mind. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys found the video helpful. If you guys have anything that you guys want to add, comment, as well as ask questions about, please let me know down in the comments below. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.